What's up, everyone? Let's talk about the balance of work, family as an engineer. Now, I've been working as an engineer for over the last decade and owning my own company with a bunch of side hustle. So I've been busy in my life. So, are you an engineer struggling to find balance between your demanding career and your family life?
A week do you usually work as an engineer? The easy answer is it depends. But usually your work week is at least 40 hours. There was this week that I worked Saturday and I worked Sunday. I had I think it was like 60, 70 hours a week.
In this video, I'll show you some practical tips and reliable experience to help you navigate your challenges to juggle both of them. As you know, I have had a business. I had worked as an engineer and I have a family. So I had a bunch of things going on. And how did I do all of this and not go crazy? Well, first of all, I'm going to let you know it was not easy. Time management and a good partner is a big thing that you need to understand. But here's something you need to understand too is the demand of engineer. You might be an engineer or thinking about becoming an engineer. And right now, I'm going to tell you right now, engineer is a very demanding job, long hours, and travel is required in most of these engineering jobs because they don't put it in there does not mean you might not have to travel for some of your jobs. So they don't tell you this in school. They don't tell you might be working all night to fix a program. They don't tell you might have to travel. But I'm going to tell you, if you become a programmer, you got long hours, you might have to travel to a customer site, you might have to travel overseas to fix something for programming, and you might have to have projects and deadlines counting on what engineer you have. So you might have all that. And the other issue you have is the constant pressure to keep up with technology advancement and staying ahead of the curve. You know how much pressure it is to stay in biomedical engineering, research and development, and trying to be ahead of everyone. That pressure is crazy. You have to always be reading articles, understand what's going on in the field, what's the next wave. These are all the things once you get to a more senior position that you have to do because information and technology change very quickly. And the issue about this is you physically might be able to handle all this, but mentally you might not prepare. You know, you could be the fittest person, but after so many days of not sleeping, so many hours of overtime, so many weeks working 40 hours extra on top of your 40. So you could be doing this all the time. And between the projects and solving technical challenges with your new products, these are all things you need to understand that engineering is very demanding. And it's very rewarding and you get paid well for it. So you understand that there is demanding on the engineer. And now that we know it's very demanding, let's talk about balancing family and life. How do I do this? You know, it's very challenging to do a work-life balance, including time management, family commitment, and managing expectations from your significant other or people around you. So, as an engineer, I personally experienced this struggle. And I talk to other engineers that have this issue. Even whenever you go on vacation, you still take a few days to wind down. At first, whenever I used to go on vacation, it took me about 2 to 3 days to not think about work anymore. And it sucked because I'd be stressed out on there. Did this get done? Did XYZ get finished? And thinking, man, it's gonna suck when I go back to work because everything's just gonna pile up. And you know what? I learned, yes, all that does happen. Work does pile up. They always understaff the engineering department. And this is what you have to understand. When you're away from work, you are going to have to be away from work. For me, after a certain time, I did put a boundary on my work so that I could have a proper work-life balance. But when I'm at work, my family knows that I'm busy. So I don't spend my time at work mixing it up. So when I'm at work, I'm working. If I have to work extra hours, I work extra hours. But when I'm home, I tell them, please do not call me. I'll answer emails before I go to bed, but I'm spending time with my family so I have a nice work life balance. So, yes, I still work after hours, still answer emails, do everything like that, like the company wants me to do, but I do it on my condition. And this is where you have to do it on yours. Maybe you say, hey, I'm going to spend a few hours with my families, hang out with them, play video games, and enjoy my time with my family. Maybe it's a few hours working on your side hustle. This is all what you have to figure out what you want to do. It's all about time management and communication. So, the importance of communicating and sharing responsibility and setting boundaries to maintain a healthy family lifestyle. So, my wife did a whole lot. She pretty much raised the kids. I am going to say that right now. But my wife knew I'm a workaholic. I like to work. I like to work, and I like to just start businesses, and that's why I'm successful. My wife is the cornerstone of all this. So you need to understand that one of the reasons why I'm successful is I had communication with my wife, and she understood this. And we shared responsibility. And now when I'm not work, I do help take care of the kids. I give her time off, relax. So I am not a horrible father. I just keep my time management and have talks with my wife. And I set boundaries for my employee, my family to understand, hey, when I'm working, I'm working. When I'm not working, I'm spending time with family. Or if I'm doing my side hustles, my wife knows, hey, the kids can be around me, but only the older ones because I'm not going to spend 100% paying attention with them. I'm working on a project. So we have that. So I can teach my kids how to run a business, how to figure out finances and everything else like that. So I can start teaching them what a side hustle is and what a business. And that's how I balance my family. Now, how what else do I do? I'm prioritizing self-care. I used to work so much that I would get sick. Now I tell you right now, you need a self-care, including physical activity, mental health, and time for your hobbies. You need these things. YouTube is my hobby. I treat it like a hobby. I don't treat it like a full-time job. And me talking to a camera helps me express myself and get things off my chest. Do I come on here venting? No. But it does help me talk about business because I love talking about business. It does help me talk about how to do better in the workplace. And it does help me share my experience with other people. So it's one of the things, I find it helpful for my mental health. And I do work out and I do self-care. So guess what? You need to prioritize your own health and understand how to handle that. Now, I'm sharing some of my practical experience, how I handle my stress. So I do go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. But I have a home gym, so I don't have to travel to one to save me time. And then I do have time where I practice martial arts or practice boxing or mixed martial arts, all these other stuff, so I get out some of the stress from my day. And the other thing I have is I encourage every engineer to seek support from their family, friends, or colleagues to avoid burnout and maintaining a positive outlook. So, this is where your significant other, this is where your friends, your coworkers, whatever, should help step in and say, hey man, you kind of been working a lot lately. You need to back down before you get burnt out. You might need that in your life. So try to find someone to help you with that. Now, let's finding fulfillment. So I love my job. That's why I never quit whenever I had my own company, because I get to help people. So that's why I find fulfillment in it. So I find fulfillment in being an engineer and having a family. It's a good balance for me. And the thing about it is you need to find a job or career, which is pretty much the same thing, that gives you a nice work-life balance that you are satisfied with. Now, it's a give and take relationship. You need to understand this. So make sure you understand you find a job that gives you fulfillment. Might not give you 100% fulfillment at that job because you don't get to do X, Y, Z, but it gives you family time. And it's a give and take. You can't have 100% family time and 100% fulfillment all the time. So you have to give and take in this relationship. And whenever you advocate for a work-life balance, make sure they understand, say, hey man, I've been working a lot of hours. I know there's a project due, but after this project, I need some time for my family. And most time as an engineer, they understand this and they give me time for family. A project coming up, a new installation, whatever is coming online, you work all these late hours for 3-4 months, and then after you say, hey, I just got done with this project, I need to step back, either go on vacation or I need some time with my family. I haven't been home for this amount of time. And they should let you off to have some of that time. If not, you might have to find another job because they're just working you to death, and that's not a good thing to be. So find a job that allows you, hey, I'm busy for 3 months, but then after a while, you're not as busy and you can spend some quality time with your family. And you need to understand, as an engineer, there is demanding time and you can't get away from that. And then building your support network is the last thing I'm going to tell you need to do. Very important to build your support system with your family, with your friends, and everything like that. Because at the end of the day, those are the people that's going to help you through these harsh times. And I encourage you to utilize things like childcare, elderly care, support groups to help manage family responsibility. Because at the end of the day, you can't do everything yourself and you might need assistance. And even if it costs you money, you might be able to find something cheaper that you can afford. And at the end of the day, you can't do everything yourself. And the benefit that you might need to do is find a mentor or a coach that can help guide you and support you through all these hard times. Because there are people that's been in your shoes, that's been in my shoes, that had to do all this and figure it out. You don't have to figure it out on yourself. Talk to HR, talk to your bosses, talk to your colleagues, talk to your friends, and they might be able to help you and mentor you to find a good work-life balance. Now, thanks for watching my video. Like, subscribe to my videos, and comment down below what do you think about the video.